This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. So, from the Observer, for Survivor Series, expect to see a lot of TV commercials listing the main event as Raw versus SmackDown versus ECW in an elimination match. That was the original main event when the TV commercials were cut, but they actually nixed the idea probably 2 months back when they decided on the Champion of Champions three-way for Cyber Sunday. So we know in this era, we've talked about this before, you had to have something to those pay-per-view companies way in advance, but as we know on the show here, plans change, Conrad. So,
well, here's the crazy thing. You look at it through 2021 eyes and think back on that you had to have something produced. You had to have something delivered so that the cable companies could put it into their rotation and put it into their system well in advance. And you had to give them something. The ability to change on a dime didn't exist then. Nowadays, man, we can change tonight for tomorrow, and TV stations and everybody would be able to adjust on the dime in this digital age that we live.
What did you think of, the concept, the original concept, Raw versus SmackDown versus ECW? Would that have worked?
Yeah, I think it would have. And I think it would have been a little more interesting as well, and put ECW on equal ground as well with Raw and SmackDown, which would have helped. Maybe it would have. Maybe it was already dead on arrival, but
in theory, the concept would help bring ECW up. I get what you're saying.
Yes.
I do. I am curious though. And again, not trying to start a fight. I know how particular you get and cranky in the morning. But do you think the average WWE fan is like a Raw loyalist or a SmackDown loyalist sort of thing? Like, man, I love Raw, but I hate SmackDown. I hate those guys on Smack. I don't like Smack. I don't know that it doesn't exist in my fandom is the reason I phrased the question that way. I like my guys and I like my stories, but I don't really have I don't go to sleep under a SmackDown blanket, if that makes sense.
Why not?
Well, I don't know that they have them, but maybe you should.
You want one?
No, not really. What do you think? Is there brand loyalty with fandom, you think? I don't think so.
You want to know what's crazy?
What?
Is during this time, we really? Actually had blankets, Raw blankets with Raw superstars on them, SmackDown blankets with SmackDown superstars on them. I don't think we had an ECW one, but I know we had a Raw and SmackDown one. And I actually think I have a SmackDown one somewhere in this house, but that used to be Kane's blanket.
My goodness.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But I do think, look, there are segments of the audience that only do watch Raw and that only do watch SmackDown. As crazy as that sounds, but there's a large segment of the audience that only watches one show. Larger segment that watches both. If you
were I guess you still are a wrestling fan, you know what I mean. I guess what I'm trying to ask is, do you think there's any way that you as a kid would have been one or the other? Like, to me, I'm a WWE fan, right? I watch both. I can't imagine. Maybe me and you are super fans though, right? And
yeah, I think so. I think that there is the larger population that's a WWE fan and enjoys elements of both shows. But I don't think that I have to agree. I don't know that from a fan perspective that, I'm behind the SmackDown team, go SmackDown. It would depend on the individuals that were a part of that team who you'd be behind.
Monty Brown is announced as being signed on November 15th. I was a huge fan of what he did in TNA, and or even earlier this year. Jeff Jarrett and I have talked about his experience with Monty and how he kind of viewed Monty as maybe the one who got away, and he did get away here. Signs on November 15th. What did you think initially that Monty Brown's ceiling would be?
Limitless.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought that Monty Brown, I was a huge admirer of Monty Brown's work, and I thought that this guy could come in and be a breakout star for us. And unfortunately, it just didn't happen. I think there was an issue with his brother or something that he had to leave and never came back.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.